it reminded me of one of the committees I am with, and that is ACT RASH committee, we call it, Refugees and Asylum Seekers and Humanitarian Committee. And every 2 months we gather some more than 18 or 20 different organizations under that forum. And all organizations belonging to ACT who come over there, they come up with one thing in their mind, that how their organization can help refugees and asylum seekers in the ACT whenever they come. One of the issues which we discussed lately was, and Jancy is here, right, and she is certainly a witness to all those committees. She has headed some of the committees when we were there, some of the meetings, that what happens that if an asylum or if a refugee application is not honored, then of course the person has to leave within 90 days. Now, current legislation does not offer any material support, any money, any funds for those 90 days, including perhaps accommodation as well. And that is always a discussion point in that meeting, that what are the numbers now in ACT who are in that category, and how we can help. CIT is there, Red Cross is there, and so many other organizations, right? So this is the spirit of that committee, and I was really impressed with the thoughts of Alan and yourself when we say things are very clear, and it is only for those people who want to listen them. You know, that's where I'm coming from. Look, because we are not having two of our speakers, then I whispered in 2 ears when they came in the hall to speak. And it's our pleasure that we'll hear their views today. Although they may not be very much prepared, but I can assure you that the experience behind them will speak rather than the person themselves. And one of them is Mr. Kanti Jinna, and the other one is Sam Wong. Kanti Jinna, he is, if I'm not wrong, president of Commonwealth Club. He has been president of Fiji Association of Canberra, and he's also president of Hindu Council of Australia. He brings very innovative ideas, right? How to organize such functions that everyone, irrespective of religion and belief, come closer to each other. Please welcome Mr. Kanti Jinna.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Mohammed. I think whilst Mohammed said that he whispered in my ear, you should have seen where my arms were. Ladies and gentlemen, Mohammed mentioned that I'm with the Royal Commonwealth Club. It's actually the Royal Commonwealth Society. And I'm very, very pleased that with us at the moment, visiting us from London, is Helen Jones, who is with the Royal Commonwealth Society, and she has been here for the last few days at a national meeting that we've had of the Royal Commonwealth Societies in Australia. So, ladies and gentlemen, Helen Jones. When I heard the minister getting so emotional about the refugees from Iran, I felt that I should think about it, the talk that I'm going to give, in a totally different light. And indeed, it will be quite innovative. I then referred to my own family. I was told by my grandfather that we were refugees. My grandfather came to Fiji in 1930. But many, many years ago, my folks used to live in Himachal Pradesh in India. They had come across a lot of problems. They were known as Rajputs, which are warriors. They were fighting. And obviously, there was no room for them in that area, and they ran from that part of the world to Gujarat. If you can remember, you can imagine a map of India. Himachal is where the hills are, and then they came towards western part of India. And about 1,500 miles away. And they settled there. They had to settle there. And they could not find jobs, etc. And my grandfather said that the only thing they could do was become hairdressers. He became a hairdresser. All his family, the group that had come as warriors, became hairdressers, naive. Then I thought, after he said this, after I came to live in Australia, to find out a bit more about what refugees are. Refugees are not new, historically. Some time ago, perhaps a couple of centuries ago, there were a couple of boats that came to the shores of Gujarat near a city called Surat. On board those two boats were refugees from Persia. They were Parsis, Zoroastrians. When they came, they sent a message to the king, the Maharaja of Baroda, please give us a place to stay. The word in Hindi is Sharan. Sharan. Many hymns and many religious songs are created on that one word, Sharan. We ask God to give us Sharan when we are in difficulties. They sent emissaries to the Maharaja, and the Maharaja said, look, I don't have any space in my country. How can I take you? So, insistently, when the messengers came, he sent them a glass of milk, which was filled to the brim, and sent it to the captains of the ship, and said, sorry, but this is how it is. There's no room here. And the wise men from Persia, they took 2 spoons of sugar and mixed it with the milk and said, look at this, how the sugar has mixed with the milk. Please take us, my people will come and become immersed with you. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard of the Tatars and Birlas, the billionaires of India, who are from that stock, and today they have become indeed the sugar in that milk. Isn't it fantastic? Ladies and gentlemen, that was just one story. Look at the story of current Mohenjo-Daro in the Harappan Valley that are in Pakistan. That was a very, very advanced civilization. They had roads, they had buildings, they had drainage, they had, you could name it, it was like a modern city today. But what had happened was that climatic conditions drew them away so badly, they had to abandon beautiful, magnificent cities and had to go and live in other parts of India. Today they're still arid, but that's what happened. They became refugees and went to the other parts of India. Coming closer to home, when you think of Fiji, you think a country with 700 or closer to 800,000 people. What can they do? Well, when the Banabans had problems near Nauru, and their islands were totally devastated because they had outgrown, they were unable to grow anything and they could not live in it. Fiji gave them an island called Rambi Island, and there are a couple of thousand Banabans still living there. And countries like Fiji has also offered to Kiribati and Tuvalu, saying to them, we have islands. There are 80 islands out of about 320 which are inhabited, but we can still take you in. And that's what refugee means. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a politician. I'm sorry. I don't want to say anything that any of the political speak that we've had. But I do know that we all have hearts. Refugees really mean it's a matter of the heart. It's not a question of anything, not color, not creed, not religion, whatever. You've got to have it here, in the center of the body. If you've got that, then if there is a will, there is a way. I think what hurt me most, and I think what hurt the minister most, when she shed a couple of tears earlier on this evening, and I'm sure people from all the political parties will share this with her, and of course the preference is always given to women and children, that these people are the people of God. We always say in Hinduism, the children are the presence of God. Bhagwan ke diye. They're not something else, but God has given us children. And we have to do the right thing. They are innocent, so we've got to look after them. I just thought I'll conclude by saying one or two things, and that is this. Australia too has had refugees. And guess who's helped them? Fiji has helped them in 1830. When the convicts had run away from here on their ships, they came to Fiji with their guns and they fought for the chiefs. I don't know, Anna, if you've read this in Papua New Guinea history, but you've probably had a few of them coming up there. And they used to be the gunmen for the chiefs when they went to war. And they did a good job. But they were refugees, they jumped ship and waited. Whatever we do, ladies and gentlemen, let us do it with our hearts. Let us be human beings and think about this. Whatever happens, I'm sure the right thing will happen in the end. I'm sorry I am not getting into sides, etc., but I hope I've given you something to think about. People like the Tatars, people like the Bidlas, who have made their home in a country many, many thousands of miles away from their own, but they have contributed to that country. So let's give everyone a chance. Thank you very much.
Didn't I say that here is a man who doesn't need any preparation? It was not, believe me, don't give him too much credit. It was not Kanti who was speaking, it was the years and years of experience which was speaking. Thank you very much, Mr. Kanti. And another person here with the same sort of experience, spanning 35-40 years, is Sam Wong. To say that Sam